Thank you, everyone. A very warm welcome, first of all, to our esteemed panelists, our council members, our audiences for today, joining us for today's panel discussion on navigating career transition, strategies for women returning to work after a career break to smoothly transition back to the workforce. It is my honor and privilege to be moderating this panelist, sharing the stage with such esteemed panelists. Each one of you are accomplished leaders in your own fields. Especially the topic is very close to my heart, and my co-moderator Gouri can also relate it to this very well, because we both are very new mother. I have a 1-year-old and she with a toddler and a baby. So career breaks in our life happens for various reasons. It could be because of higher studies, because of motherhood, childcare, and adult care, and even relocating of our spouse for various reasons. But what important is, whether are we willing to come back and start from where we left, or even if it takes to start afresh without losing motivation, and without perceiving that career break in our resume as negative and accepting the fact, yes, breaks do happen. So today in our panel discussion, we will be asking some interesting questions to our panelists. They will be addressing, sharing their perspective and expertise. This will help us women and all our audience, I'm sure, to delve into many key areas such as building confidence, how mentorship will help, how networking could help. So we'll delve upon various key areas. This event is on behalf of the Technology Empowerment Council of Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I represent as the state president for the Technology Empowerment Council for Karnataka. I also work as executive director for IT at Garden City University. And also I have with me my co-moderator Gouri Eshwar. She is an education advisor, global career counselor, and she's also our state council member. I also have with me Leah Avi. She is a cybersecurity specialist. She works as information security manager at McAfee, and she is also the vice president for Technology Empowerment Council, WICCI. Before we get started, I would like to introduce all our distinguished panelists, starting with Dr. Vasavi Acharjya. Moving on to our next panelist, Ramesh, Rajini. Moving on to our next panelist, Dr. Vaishali Gupta. Moving on to our next speaker, Captain Shweta Misra. As we get started, now I'll hand over to my co-moderator Gouri to begin the discussion.
Thank you, Yashaswini, for setting the context and introducing our exceptional panelist. Now, my question is towards Dr. Vasavi Acharjya, who is early childhood education expert. What advice would you give to women looking to re-enter the workforce after a career break, particularly in fields related to education and childcare? Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me here today in this wonderful discussion. And every woman who has their own parts to play in this world, but a career is one thing which I feel is very important. And we definitely see that women, they move out of the workforce once they get married, or if it is, when it comes to about extending the family to parenting. And I often see in my preschool chain, teachers who reapply after a long break of their career, right after marriage or after childbirth. And I see that actually preschool sector, I'm an early childhood educationist, and I've been working in this domain for last 20 4+ years. And I feel that the preschool sector is very appropriate for a woman who would want to come back into, work after a wedding, which is quite demanding in terms of the family life she has, or after childbirth, because preschool sector demands less time. So, that way it is a joy in the job, and at the same time you can have a little less stress while you are working in this sector, because you are working essentially with children, and children give you a lot of joy. So I feel for women, our sector is particularly very, very, open towards them, and anybody who had a career break can definitely come and join the preschool sector. And the women generally, they are more with the soft skills. And preschool, again, is a sector where we include more women in our work. So we are always around, the woman work force. So that way, the soft skills that we have, and with a little bit of training, with a little bit of support, I feel we are very open to women who would want to come back. And that this is what I've been seeing while we recruit. Because if I would go by our life examples, many a times I even last, this new session has just begun, and we were recruiting our new teachers, in the vacancies, and we saw that there were educators who joined after a gap of 10 years. Now that their child is grown up, and she says that, ma'am, I have the time, and now I want to dedicate my time to little children. So, it is such a positive, I feel. That is what I would want to say. And we are very open. We are there for all the women, who would want to come and be a part of this very lovely environment that we have. See, this is a very, very pertinent question, because when a woman wants to come back and join, she also has a lot of doubts in her own mind, looking at the break, the time period she's not been working. Sometimes she might feel outdated. She might not feel that she is adequately equipped to come and join the workforce, or, become a part of a preschool or a early childhood, center. And I feel that, yes, we need to support them. We need to train them. We need to keep their moral boosted. Because again, coming to life examples, I always want to state live examples, because that comes as a beautiful story and it's very inspiring. One of our teachers, she is presently working in our school, and she has a son who is a little bit autistic. He's a little special. So she always wants to leave the job, but she is such an excellent teacher that we have been supporting her. If at times she needs to leave the work a little early, we give her that kind of a break. Or if she comes a little late, we are kind of, adjusting. And at times she is more morally very upset, and she would say, ma'am, I would not be able to continue. But we always try to boost her spirit, because I know if she goes back home and she is again, into only her household work and dedicating her time to things maybe that is more demanding. But here again, she has a sense of satisfaction, she has a sense of joy, and she looks forward to coming to school. So that is how it is very important that we need to encourage them, appreciate every effort they make. So there's a lot of empathy and compassion that is required, for women who is going to come back into the workforce. Because I have seen a woman who had a career break, and how they don't feel that confidence. So we need to be on the other end. We who are on the other end of the spectrum need to look out, hold out, give them a hand holding, and all of it, the support they need in order to come back and get assimilated, and also, feel proud about it. So at times we would tell her, these days that you're having, the very tough times that you're having, juggling between work and work life and, work family balance, one day you'll laugh at it and you'll see that you have emerged as a victorious woman who did what she wanted to do in her life. And at the same time, she dedicated her quality and good time even to the family. So that way she would be a more satisfied, grown up, I would say. So that is my, take on this thing. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Vasavi, for sharing valuable information on how an organization can create supportive environment by giving emotional support, moral support, and encouraging them in all the aspects by considering their daily routine and their lifestyle. Yes, by creating supportive environment, it becomes easy for women to re-enter the workforce without any hesitation, and definitely they will be successful in future. Thank you so much, Dr. Vasvi. Yes, moving ahead, my next question is towards Dr. Vaishali Gupta, who is personality development coach. Here is the question, madam. With your extensive experience in academia and administration, what advice would you give to women looking to re-enter the workforce after a career break? In academia phase, what specific challenges do they encounter and how to overcome them? Over to you, madam.
Okay, like first answering this question, I would like to present a statistics to you.
Sure.
It says that there's a study by KPMG which says that 75% high executive or high performance executive females, they suffer from imposter syndrome. So I always take this as that there is something which is imposter syndrome, which is found in females a lot. And it is because there is also been a research done which says that if a man is ready with 20%, he says that I'm perfect and I'm good to go on the stage. But if a woman is ready even 90%, she will say that no, I'm not prepared, because she always focuses on that less of that 10%. So this is one of the important point. Now I'll give you one more very live example, as said by earlier respected panelist, that real life examples are really good. That one of my friend, she was working as a professor, and she went on a maternity leave just before the pandemic. So it was like in 2020 she went on the leave, and after in 2022 she has to join. So there was a gap of 2 years. Now these two were the years where people and the students have got awareness or have got access to all these softwares and other things. So when she was able to join, when she was joining back, she was like this, that everybody is exposed to so many new things. Whether I would be able to do that, whether I would be able to fit into that system again, because now the education system is demanding that, even the students are demanding that. So my first point, or what I have noticed, is the first challenge in the academia sector is to keep yourself updated and upskilled. That is one of the most important point. I would say that most of the most of the females should first focus on updating their skills and knowledge. Then second most important part is networking. Now, as you can say, like this session is being conducted, which is a product of networking, which is a product of the kind of everybody over here is techno savvy, who knows how to use this and who knows how to pitch in the other people and make the world a smaller place and share the ideas. So during that time, when the females are taking a back seat or they are at home, their network goes really in a very small way. They are just connected to their family, or they are just connected to their smaller group of friends. Why? Because they think that they are the only ones who understand me. They are understanding my situation. So my second point would be that they should expand their network. No matter, it is okay. It is okay to take help, or it is okay, to network with the people who are not in your circle. Why? Because this is, you can take the females should take it like this, that okay, for this maternity leave or for a career break, they should take their career break as a preparation to get back to that situation when they will join the workforce. So consider that as your preparation period. So during that time, networking is very, very important. Then the most important thing is seek mentorship. See, I'll tell you, in academics or in any professional system, there is something which is we call that "Arey itna nahi pata," or you are not updated this much. This is a kind of statement which at a time we tend to listen, right? Yeah, आप तो बहुत free थे, घर पे थे. You did not update yourself. You did not knew this thing. So seeking mentorship at that time is one of the important point. And it can be anybody. You can seek mentorship. We always look towards family or to our friends for taking personal advice. Then why not professional? So seeking mentorship could also be one of the major point. It can be anybody. It can be your boss, it can be your mother, it can be your father, it can be your brother, it can be your husband, or anybody outside the group. Who, if you have attended any online course, if you have done any kind of certifications, you have met any mentor, you or any resource person you can get connected with. So seeking mentorship is also one of the major point, I would say, that is required and that needs to be done. Okay. Now, there is one more point. Like when people start thinking, or a female starts thinking of joining back, it's not mandatory that you always join at a full-time role. You can just join at part-time or contractual roles also. Just in order to, like, since you said that we have two new mothers over here juggling between the child and their job. So it's not mandatory directly to join your old organization at a full-time role. And I'm sure the organizations also understand this thing. Or during that time period, in order to get your hands on, or in order to get your confidence back, you can start having some contractual jobs, or you can start having some part-time jobs, so that it's easier for you. You cannot just jump on after staying for home for 24/7, serving as a full-time homemaker for 24/7. You cannot jump on to a definitely different role where you're working for 8 hours, 10 hours, or 12 hours. You can just little by little, you can expand your time. You can first make it for 3 hours, then 4 hours. In this way, even your family is balanced, even you are at balance. And the most important thing, you will understand that what are the challenges on work, what are the skills I need to work on. So that, I actually think that could be a practical solutions which I've suggested to many people. Then address resume gap strategically. I'll tell you, I was on Instagram and there was a professional, a female professional. She has beautifully written about the career gap. You know what she wrote? Professor, full-time mother, and a content creator. I was so much amazed by this thing, that she is confident to say this thing, that yes, till this year to this year, I was working as a professor. From 2018 to 2020, I'm working as a full-time mother. And after 20, I'm a content writer. Just imagine, like, you are embracing the changes in your life. Just imagine. So this is very important, that if there is a gap, you have to strategically deal with it. Even if you are getting married, you are relocating, or if there is any family concern, or even if you are in a full-time job. I have even came across some females who were in a full-time job, who quit their job, who went on some contractual roles, and then again joining. Now the question arises, what did you do during that time period? Why did you quit your full-time job? So that needs to be answered in a strategic way. So you have to embrace the changes and put it in your resume, or put it in front of the people very strongly, very confidently, that yes, I chose to adopt this role. Then there is a point, flexibility and adaptability. This relates to the point of self-confidence. See, it is a human nature. We always tend to, get approval from the other person. Am I doing right? Why, as a female, why it is always like this? I understand the support of the family, the support of your corporate, in the corporate or any sector, your support of your HOD is required. But you should also have confidence in yourself that yes, I can do it. This mental preparation, all these small points which I have discussed earlier, this will give you confidence that yes, I can do it. First, I should believe, I should have that confidence in me, that yes, I can do it. Then the others will have confidence in me. Then that gap will be, you will be able to justify. There's one more thing. When the females prepare themselves to come on the job, they go on a guilt trip, that, oh, I'm not justifying my role as in the family. Oh, I'm not updated enough whether I'm going to justify my role in the job. Because when you go, your HOD or your boss will say like this, ki, okay, welcome back, we hope to see that energy again. Now this puts a question mark. Is it true? Would I be able to do that? Right. So this is something that we need to actually work on. These attending conferences, connecting with people, this will give you a confidence that yes, of course there are flaws. I know there are flaws. I will make mistakes, but still I would be able to go beyond it. So that is one more thing. Then work-life balance. See, this is not a small term. It's a very big term, but I will connect with it. If you want to have a work-life balance, you need to seek support. I always say this thing very openly. You cannot be Anupama, and you don't have to be, right? So in that perspective, I would say that it's okay to seek help. It's okay, and openly embrace this thing that yes, I'm not 100% correct. I will commit mistakes. I will have some my own, weaknesses on which I'm working on, but I need your help to help me in this respect. So this is one thing, whether these are the small practical points. I think if the females are working on that, so they can prepare themselves mentally, emotionally, and even professionally to be back on their toes. So thank you, Gauri, for the question. I hope this answers. Okay, ma'am, actually, there are life coaches for this. Now, if you go for any coach, like I'm a personality development coach. So I even get clients like this, like who are, who are facing this problem. There are two kinds of clients. Like one are those who are not able to, if you talk about, there's an age wide thing that is starting from 18 to 30. These are the people who are looking for those kind of coaches who want to crack some interviews, who want to work on these skills. And the second is 30 plus. Now we say that I do personality development coaching, where I not only train people on their personality. It's not only the outer personality, it is the mental personality also. I understand that you made your resume, you have attended all the conferences, you have done the networking part, but are you mentally ready to embrace all these things? Still you feel confident that yes, I can do it? So there is if you talk about the platforms, you can just go on LinkedIn, or you can find the coaches through connections. That is one of the important thing. You will find different coaches, and then they could help you out in this concern.
Thank you so much for the insightful information. Now I'm handovering to Yashaswini to moderate on our next panelist, Ramesh, Rajini, and Captain Shweta Misra. Over to you, Yashaswini.
Thank you, Gauri. Thank you for those two wonderful insights from our two panelists. Madam, now moving on to you. Even Dr. Vaishali also did bring up some of the statistics, and also little statistics that what I also read about women in technology, where they say globally only 27% of them make up the workforce of the technology industry. Women before even the age of 35, 50% of them would leave the tech job. Rajini, my question to you is, you have actually balanced your career in tech industry. You have been a mentor in Infosys, you have worked in NASSCOM, and you also did a diverse engagements as a mentor, speaker. You are also an author, and most importantly, you are a working mother, and also you are a working mother's coach. That is what I saw, and that was very interesting. What advice would you give women when they want to re-enter the workforce after a career break? And is there any actually success mantra that have helped women when they are coming back to work? My question to Rajini, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Yashaswini, for having me here, and amazing work done from the Technology Empowerment WICCI Council. Though I'm part of this council as a panelist now, but I'm a national member of WICCI on the Equitable Parenting Council, right? So that is something which I wanted to be part of it, because it is like parenting, especially when it comes to mom, right? I think we have those three phases of a woman's life, right? One is the marriage, the second one is the maternity, and the menopause. So this is something which we can't get rid of, right? It's like cautiously we have to go through marriage, we have to go through maternity, we have to go through menopause. Maybe this crowd may have a menopause stage a little later, but these are the three major things which knowingly or unknowingly we will be part of it. And something when we want to come back, right? Especially during the career break, most of the time we either take it for our marriage or, childcare or family care or, anything about the menopause stage and all. So my mantra has always been like, we women tend to, a lot of things have been discussed by Vaishali and, Vasavi Acharya ji also. So this is something which I personally have gone through my own life. I was like coming from a complete orthodox family where, rituals have to be followed properly. And even now I follow, but a lot of times I keep myself I used to keep myself in a form of guilt, right? Or maybe that perfect round chapati is not there for my kids lunchbox today, or maybe I didn't do two sabji because my elder one wants something else and the younger one wants something else. So I always was in this guilt phase. Then I later figured out slowly that the guilt is something which is not helping me, whether it's comeback or whether you're working even without a career break. First of all, I think we'll have to take it guilt free. It's okay even if you don't give one complete round chapati, or even if you don't give two sabjis for a lunch box, or that's completely okay, right? Never you can satisfy anyone, not just your family members, your external professional network also. You cannot satisfy anyone. So that is the first thing which I learned for myself, and then beyond that is when I started breaking my myths about myself, saying, oh, will I be able to balance both the worlds? Can I come back? So my second baby was a preterm baby. He had I had a water leak, and then I delivered a baby preterm. So that is when I took a sabbatical. I intentionally said, okay, 1 year I will stay with him, and then give all the care that I needed. So that was the phase I got to know that, okay, this is not going to work, because I had an elder one who was like going to school and the younger one was with me. But the elder one started taking me for granted. Amma, you're there at home, so why not you fill my water bottle? Why not you tie the shoe for me? So it's not like you're not out of your work. You're still part of your work itself. But then, such important things that will teach you a lesson, saying you have to be in the career, right? So that is when I started dividing, saying if I have 24 hours, which all of us have, right? 8, 8, 8. So that is the principle that I've been following. That could be my success mantra, why I've been able to do all this. 8 for the career, 8 hours for the family, whatever it could be, right? Cooking, giving bath or feeding, whatever it could be. And the 8 hours that I need to give it for myself. When I say myself, it can be sleeping, it can be, just writing, or it can be just gardening, or whatever you feel doing. This is a very important thing, because if we look at any of the mothers' whole schedule, right? Most of them, they focus either on career or on family, nothing for themselves. So if we divide it into equal parts, at least if not exact portion, I think that is what we need to take care of. And completely okay if we take it slow. It's not like, you have to be on par with the neighbor's mom, or you need to be on par with your colleague who has just started working with you. So take it slow is the mantra which I need to keep telling myself, because now I'm into so many things and my husband keeps reminding me, it's okay, Rajni, take it slow. So take it slow is something which we all have, because we don't know what is the starting point of the other woman that we might be, comparing us with. So you shouldn't be comparing with anyone. You just start off your journey as of that day, whatever it is, give your best and then do it. So taking it slow and becoming guilt free, and probably, not comparing yourself with any other moms or any other working woman kind of thing. So those are, I think, 3 success mantras which I keep following for myself, which has been working well for all my motherhood coaching that I've been doing. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderfully said. 8, 8, 8. That's the success mantra. And also taking it slow, guilt-free. That is also very important. Thank you for those wonderful insights. My next question too is Captain Shweta Misra. You have been a military personnel and you have been in the army. We all do know, I mean, we all do can imagine that how difficult it would be compared to us. What advice would you give to women returnees on aspects like building confidence, self-esteem, and also when they return back to work? How do they come back confidently? How can we do that?
Thank you, Yashaswini, at the outset for having me here as a speaker. And it is difficult to be the last speaker when most of the points have been covered. Particularly, Vaishali ji has already answered most of the questions which you have asked. The topic is close to my heart. I'll tell you some things from my own personal experiences. I have served army during Kargil war. I was a young mother. Daughter was just few months old when I contributed my services. I have extended my services during Operation Parakaram, living in Indo-Pak border for 7-8 months in tents while a kid was being looked after by my parents back home and not on the border. Husband was on the other border, also a serving officer. So when someone asks about women's employability and career progression, I feel irrespective of what profession you are, if you do not have a support system with respect to child care, you will always face difficulty in your professional. It is very difficult to rise and compete with men because somewhere it is understood that we all live in patriarchal society, and irrespective of what profession you are in, the household responsibilities, the child care responsibilities invariably end up with being with women, and women end up doing two jobs, office jobs, and once you are back from office you do the household jobs, and then again you're back in the office. So to acknowledge the fact that childcare responsibility rests with women, and if you want to empower women and if you want to have women re-enter the workforce, then this issue of childcare has to be taken care of at much larger scale. You all have shared some statistics. Even I will share one, which was a research study conducted by an NGO as late as March 24, and it says that 34% of women leave the workforce for want of work-life balance, and 37% of corporates, they do not provide maternity leave benefits to women, and only 17.5 child care benefits to the corporate women. So if such be the situation, for women, the returning of women in the workforce will always remain a challenge. Even if they somehow manage to come back, they will always keep finding difficult to sustain themselves in that environment, because home will keep pulling themselves. So all your younger ladies, some are senior ladies, if you are in an organization, if you are in HR, make arrangements so that women can be there. If you can be speaking about it, like I personally, after having left army, I have been writing extensively about it. I have written articles in newspapers. I have written books, Supreme Court judgments on women in army. Just speak about it, bring awareness so that fellow women are at ease. The awareness is created, and when awareness is created, policies will be created to support women. On a psychological aspect of why women re-enter, I would want to just speak few more lines. I know I am the last speaker and everyone is getting restless because of the limited time, but once a lady has left job for a particular reason, family reason hai, health reason, parents reason hai, household responsibility hai, once she has left, she is sitting at home, there are some psychological elements that come into play. There are 3 psychological elements effectively research studies have proven. One is her own career identity. Like Ramesh Rajini ji was saying that I am an IT professional, right? Her career identity is I am an IT professional. I have to revert back to being an IT professional. You will refuse to identify with the tag of a housewife or a homemaker. That's too much of an ego. No, I am not a housewife. I am here for 1 year, but I am an IT professional. I have to go back to the workforce. That your own psychological career identity is something which strongly pulls you back in the workforce. So if you do not have that career identity, if you have taken, say you've done a BTech degree, you've done an MBA degree, you've done a particular, you know, MC or whatever, you have achieved a technical degree, pivot with that technical identity, or pivot with that whatever professional identity. When you will pivot with that, it will help you grab that job or help you, motivate you to get into the workforce. It will help you to keep your motivation going on, to keep applying, you know. Otherwise, usually, like Vaishali ji says, when you have taken a break, it is a done thing that there will be a knowledge gap. It is a done thing that you are not using your skills, so there will be a downgradation in your skill. And because you have taken a break for household responsibilities, so it is obviously not possible to keep upskilling yourself at that point in time. So ultimately, what will happen? The word which was used was imposter syndrome. You want to come back, but you feel that you are not good enough. You want to come back, but you feel you are not talented enough. So one is career identity, like I had said, have strong career identity, which will help you. The second thing is strong work centrality. That was my case. Work centrality is that you have left one job because of household responsibility, but now that you are sitting at home, you realize that you are used to working. The void of not doing a job or not remaining employed is too much. It is too much of a psychological pressure. That emptiness starts eating you, and that was the case with me. Once I left army for my family responsibilities, I realized I can't exist in home environment. I have to grab another job. Army obviously was continuation, and army obviously was not an option, so change of job was the option. I became a faculty in an engineering college, but that work centrality, right? Your psychology of keep working, getting used to working, is another important psychological element which pushes women, you know, once she has left job, that work centrality element, psychology also pushes women in the workforce. So how much of work centrality that will help you again, keep you motivated to. And third, obviously, is your need to be financially independent, having your own wad of, you know, cash in your hand, or having your own money. That obviously, and sometimes that is because of the family pressures also, or financial requirements also, to have your finance. So these are the three agencies which act together and, you know, work together, which help women psychologically pull herself up to you know, gather motivation and get courage to apply. Now, once you've applied, and obviously there are other things as well. Not psychological make it is the surrounding favorable. Immediately, if you've given birth to a child, obviously it is unfavorable environment with you. Me, I am, besides being an army, an ex-army officer, I am spouse of an army officer. My husband has been a serving officer, so he has had, because of being that military spouse, I have some unfavorable uh, environments for me, you know. Constant changing of postings, 1.5 years in Tawang, one Arunachal Pradesh, 1.5 years in Kashmir, 1.5 years in South India, and then sitting in Rajasthan. For the family's sake, you keep relocating, and then you keep looking for jobs. So these are unfavorable conditions. Despite psychologically being strong enough to go back in the workforce, the environment around me would be not so favorable to help me out. So to get out of these environments, again, one has to pull out energies from oneself. And the support from family is the most important thing after the other environments and all that. Like, I sustained working during Kargil war despite having a baby because I had family support. I could be in Operation Parakram, standing against Pakistan, you know, dealing with drones and artillery fightings, and handling air defense regiment, because my daughter was being looked after by my parents back home in Bhopal. So that family support is a huge thing. If family support is there in physical terms and in psychological terms, in emotional terms, you know, if that support from family is there, then that girl or that lady will be able to come back in the workforce. So if you are a family member of a woman who has taken a break, please be the support. Even one strong support becomes a big thing if a strong, psychologically strong woman gets from somewhere or from anyone. So be that lady, I would say. If you are one, like Vaishali ji says, it is okay to ask for help and go ahead and want for help. That is if you are suffering. But if you are not, and if you see someone around you is wanting and help, please go ahead and extend your help. So I have more points, but Yashaswini, as of now, I'll stop at that.
Thank you, madam. That actually touched upon a lot of elements. How important when we do have our help to take care of the child care. And also, you also emphasized on the strong career identity, work centrality, financial independence. You did touch upon a lot of very key elements. Thank you, madam, for that. I would hand over the discussion to Gouri.
Thank you, Yashaswini. The next question will be towards Dr. Vaishali, who is Employable Skills Trainer, Personality Development Coach. Can you elaborate on particularly important soft skills women returning to workforce should emphasize? Could you share some effective learning approaches for women returning to work who often have competing time demand with respect to family and full-time jobs? And also, can you please cover a few points on balancing upskilling or reskilling effectively and leveraging their existing skills? Over to you, madam.
Okay. So now my first point on the soft skill would be communication. Talk, baat karo. Right? Till the time you don't talk. See, we always, as a female, we always complain that people don't understand us because we don't talk. We don't say these things. The first and foremost thing what I would like to say is that first you have to figure out that how you can communicate your problems and how you can get the answer to those problems. First and foremost thing is that improve on your communication. Do not feel at the back seat that yes, I was on a break, now I am not confident enough to go for it. The first and foremost is that working on your communication. Second is adaptability. See, what happens is we always expect, after a break, we expect the organization to adapt us, understand us, our situation. But we have to also understand that as females, that during that break, the certain changes have been made. The organization has also gone certain changes. So the second point, which is more important as you can accommodate as a soft skill, is your adaptability. That you should be adaptable to the new changes, which is coming in your personal life also, and second, in your professional life also. If there is some technology change at on your work part, you need to upgrade yourself on a technology. You can go for any kind of workshop. You can go on any kind of conference. You can have some micro learning modules in order to upscale yourself, and you are slowly and gradually you will find that there will be adaptability. You will start fitting into that system very easily. Then next, the point is time management. Time management is very, very important, which all the females think that we would be able to manage this thing. Like it's like this ki itna ghanta hamare like in the early morning hours will be for the family and the kid, then the rest of the hours for the office hours, and then again I'll return back and I will manage the household in this way. But does it go like this? My question is to Gauri, does it actually go like this?
No, madam. No, definitely
no, it
not.
doesn't go like this. It will go haywire. So as quoted by Captain Shweta, that it is very, very important to have a family support. But along with that, time management with the family and with your kids, in order to manage that, you should have there are two strategies I'll tell you. First is your goal setting. What goals you want to achieve during that time period. Like, take for example, you were on a break for 2 years. Now you want to come back to the workforce. So make a strategy for, you have to make goals for next 6 months. In 6 months, how I'm going to take one by one goal, and after 6 months I'll be competent enough to fit into that role completely. That's it. First strategy is this thing. Second strategy is after that goal setting, that from where I can fulfill these tasks. for fulfilling those goals, from where I can get the help, how can I work on those things, what skills do I need to work upon. These are two strategies. So you have to, for doing that daily time management, first you have to set your goals, that okay, for this is my long term plan, that for the 6 months my plan would be this, and on basis of that goal setting you have to do time management. Then your that daily time management will be able to do, like you can make weekly plans, or you can make 10-day plans, that this month I will achieve these two targets. So then you can make your time management, it will work accordingly. Then you will also have, you can also manage with the gaps ki acha agar is then I'm not able to do this, koi baat nahi, I can have a I have enough time to cover up these things. So that goal setting thing and time management is one of the important skill which is required for a comeback. Then collaborating and teamwork, this is very very important. See, no matter whichever organization you are joining, there are two set of people with whom you can actually barge to help on, right? First is any colleague or any friend or any senior from your previous organization. If you're joining the previous organization, then it's fine, you can again get help from the people over there. Suppose you are not joining that previous organization, as ma'am said that some like she has to relocate again and again, as she was into defense, so she has to relocate. No, it's not very easy every time to adapt to the new environment. It's not very easy, every time you will not get the kind of people you are looking for. The first thing is that you already know that where you are joining, so get help from the people from your old organization, and also get help from the people of your new organization. I'm sure you will find one person or the other who would just make you acquaint with the working culture, that this would be the work culture, this could be the timings, these are your leave system, we have such HR policies like this. So this could be a help to the person. So working in team, you can ask for them that okay, do I have a team, can I collaborate with somebody, because since I'm new I would require some kind of help. So that teamwork and collaboration, that is one of the major point. Then is problem solving. See, why it is one of the major points. I'll tell you very honestly. In academics, what happens, that if you apply somewhere else, they make you go through medical test, and if you're married, they will ask you to go for a maternity test, right? And why are they saying so? Because they have semester systems. So it's like this, that if a female is pregnant, then definitely after a semester or after 3 months, or according to the situation, according to the pregnancy months, she will go on maternity leave, right? So they will have a backseat. Ki, okay, or it will be like this ki, oh, she'll always come with problems, ma'am, today I'm having headache, today I'm not feeling well, or something like this, something has happened to my child, I'm not in a situation to join, or she will take a lot of leaves. So always come up with a solution. Always keep this thing in your mind, that yes, now I have, or if you are like as the ma'am said that you have to relocate. Now this is the point. Okay, she's a person whose husband job is always about relocating. She might leave the organization at any point of time. So just jot down that what could be the probable problems and what can be the probable solutions. I'll tell you one tip. HR loves only those persons who come not with the problems, but first with the solution. Tell them the solution and then tell them your problem. I'm saying this thing, they will always understand it. So jot down that, okay, if I have to return back, then what are the probable points on which I can face problems and what solutions I can give them. Then the next point would be you utilize employer resources, right? Like take for example, you are taking a career break for going on, you want to go for a course, right? Like take for example, there is a professional, like in my academics, the most of the faculties, they go for PhD. For the PhD, they take sabbatical. Now what is the solution? Now who is going to lead their team? So that leadership skills, that strategy skills should be there. You should frame it in advance, so that even if I'm going on sabbatical, even if I'm leaving, my organization should not feel this thing, oh, you are always a resource, you are an asset to the organization. They should always have like this, that Gauri, our doors are open for you, or for the audience, like our doors are always open for you. So these are some soft skills which you can apply, but with practical solutions. So I hope this answers your question.
It's like you're mind mapping our all questions. So wonderfully you deliberated your insights about how to get out of these issues. Thank you once again for the insightful information, Dr. Vaishali. I'm going to hand over it to Yashaswini. Over to you, Yashaswini.
Thank you, Gauri. Thank you for that. My next question would be to Rajini, madam. You advocate for breaking the myth that women must choose between career and family. That is actually a very powerful message. How can women returning to work after a career break, they can navigate that societal expectation that they have from them, and the challenges that they do face to create a fulfilling work-life balance?
Yeah, just adding on to Vaishali, Dr. Vaishali's points, right? A lot of times, whenever we start discussing, even in a small get together, most of the time we will be discussing about our problems, like why maid didn't turn out, why mother-in-law is like this, why my husband is like this. So probably, I think we'll have to start off with, because everyone has their own challenges, right? Whether it's a working a salaried mom or a complete homemaker with the kid, right, taking care of the family completely, everyone's challenge is different. It's not like just because she's working, stepping out of the home, her challenges is like high, and then at home mother's challenge is like low kind of thing. That is not at all a proper reason, right? And for me, as I just mentioned it earlier, right, marriage and maternity, it's like by chance maybe we would have got into marriage and then maternity part of it. But profession, keeping ourselves continuing with our profession is always by choice. It's not never by chance saying, okay, chalo, I have some free time, so let me just work. It never happens that way. So it's always that a cautious choice that we have to make for ourselves, and then we say whatever we have been learning, whatever we have been able to impart to the society back. I think that is where we have to start driving our mind, rather than saying I can just sit around, say, and then let my son grow, let my daughter grow, then I will get back into the workforce. Because at some point of time, maybe if they become a teenager, they may not need you anymore, right? At least for the major decisions, yes, but for a smaller household chores or smaller things and all, it will become a complete void there, like Captain Shweta mentioned. Like, what after that age? So you would have gone through a lot of life cycle changes in by then, but then you may feel like, okay, what now, what next, right? So definitely it's not like you always have to be a full-time job person, like Vaishali ma'am also mentioned, right? Just start off with a very basic one, or even if you're not going earning outside, so something on your passion itself. Now when we are in the social media era, right? Even if your passion, if you can just post it on Instagram and start earning from them. There are a lot of moms who have said that, okay, I have taken a career break, but my passion is into gardening. So she's just making those small pots and then planting, and then making that itself like looking so beautiful, gifting ideas and all that. So just keep yourself engaged into something. Need not be completely technical, but you should have the power of purse, like Indra Nooyi says that the power of purse should be with you, and it should not be like you have to just ask someone, whether it's your husband, your father, or your brother, or whoever it is. That has to be with you, and it doesn't come so easily. Like, if you see the initial thing that I started off, the title of my book on parenting is Friction Free Parenting. Though a lot of people said, is it actually possible kind of thing, but then yeah, I know it's an ideal situation, but then every one of us, if we have a strained relationship, whether it's in office or at home, that will impact our life, especially when women, they are very sensitive. They're not that thick skinned, right? We have been, okay, what if, this doesn't turn out this way? We will start taking it personally and then say, oh, I shouldn't have done it this way kind. So probably coming out of that strained relationship is the first step that we need to take ourselves when we want to come back after a break, or even if we want to get started, because that is something which keeps going on in the back of mind, right? Like, if I just want to connect it with an analogy, right? If you have something, a very delicious food in front of you, and then there's something getting stuck in your teeth, right? though you have many other tools that you have, right? But still your tongue would be trying to pull out that what is stuck and how do I get rid of it. Though you have that nice biryani or nice something in front of you, but then your mouth and your teeth are not that comfortable, so you will go and pick that, and then till that is taken off, you get rid of it, you will not be able to enjoy that meal. So that's a similar analogy, right? Friction free parenting is not just parenting, friction free living as such. When you have any kind of strained relationship, unknowingly, it will impact your personal health, right? So, coming out of that, like ma'am also mentioned, having that support system, whether it's in your parenting journey or your career, that's very, very important. We cannot stress enough. It's okay to speak up. It's okay. Someone has already walked the path, they have already seen the other side of the life. So, like in forest, right? We don't just go somewhere wherever we feel like. There is always a path which is laid, and then we feel like it's a little better to go on the path which you see a road, entering there. So always take that path, and it's okay to seek your support system help, whatever. And I mean, when I say support system, is not just your husband. Last week I was in a panel, and then when someone asked what is your support system, biggest support system and all, like my husband will be dropping my kid to the school, and then he's picking her back, and all that is my biggest support system. I said, like, go beyond that, not just husband, right? Your mentors, your maids, your colleagues who can just guide you in the proper technical path, or your personal growth, that also is the biggest support system. It's not like just only your husband, your in-laws, and elder daughter, elder son. No, go beyond that. I mean, such technical events or such networking events definitely help you to find out your mentor, as in whom you can reach out to, and what is your aspirations. Can I take some guidance, rather than you cribbing alone saying, oh, this is my problem, this is my problem. Like ma'am was mentioning, right? Go with the solution. So figure out during your lunch break, during your tea time, whatever time that you get, in the networking possibilities, speak about the solutions rather than discussing only about the challenges and only about the problems. I think that matters the most. Support system, speaking up, and don't have any strained relationships. These are the three major things that can help you, whoever is into that journey. Yeah.
Thank you for that. So my next question is to Captain Shweta, ma'am. You experienced a culture shift in your career because you transitioned from army, and then now you are a civilian worker, you're doing a lot of social impacts. So my question to you is, after being years in military and adapting to now the civilian work environment, that again can be challenging, can you share specific examples of this culture difference that you had to navigate? And also this, even we women can relate how when we are entering the workforce back, and when we have to go through this culture shift, so how can we be prepared, how can we make ourselves comfortable with that?
So, Yashaswini, when I left army, and I had for a few months I was at home, and then I realized that this is not my identity. Certainly not me not working. So I had joined a college there, and I started teaching. I had done MBA, so was good enough to teach management to engineering college students there, management being one of the subject. But when I was teaching there, this was in Jhansi. When I was teaching there, suddenly I realized after 2 or 3 months, the principal director himself walked up to me he said, we need a person to train on someone to train on soft skills. Our students are very good in technical. They score very nice in technical degrees. The percentage is very good. But when companies come to interview, they don't have personality, they don't have confidence to answer. Jhansi being a absolutely Hindi speaking zone, there people were not even confident in speaking in English, not confident in wearing dresses and all. So he said, you've been an ex-army officer and you are an excellent candidate. Please help our student, train them. So I became training and placement in charge, started taking soft skills training up apart from management skill. So why I'm narrating this example is, after you have left your first job and you have sat at home, you don't realize what are the requirements of the market and what are your positives. So when you want to join back, make a list of what are your positives, what you yourself are able to offer and how you will be able to add value to the industry wherever you want to, and what are the industry requirements. I did not do that perfectly, industry requirements were soft skill training and a lot of money there, right? So do that stock taking properly. What is it that you have besides whatever technical degree or expertise, or what skill sets you are bringing or you still have after having left and sat at home for so many days, and what is the current requirement of the organization. Polish yourself up. If your current skill set is catering to the requirement, you may require an additional certification, you may require an additional some course, so that you are able to cater to that requirement, and then you are able to you are as good as anyone one else without someone who has not taken the break. So that one experience I'm sharing. Besides that, since Rajini ji quoted one, I will quote Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey had, someone asked her, you have interviewed so many successful people for so long, what is one thing in common? So Oprah said, one thing in common in all the successful people was they knew exactly where they wanted to go. And believe you me, I have changed careers from being an author to blogger to guest faculty to an army officer to a TV panelist. So I have navigated so many careers, and every time, unless until I have defined up in my brain where I want to go short term, where I want to go in long term. Unless that definition is there in your head, you will not be able to direction yourself in the right place. That is one. Second thing is, have faith in yourself. Embrace your story. Don't get bogged down by she knows more than me and she has the continuity, she has the age advantage with her because she or he had been continuously working and I am an older person. No, embrace your story and keep asking yourself, I want to go there. And the second question is, why I want to go there. Why I want to go there will keep you motivated. I am a career woman. I can't live at home without working. I need money, whatever your story be, whatever your reason be. Every time you get stuck from, where I want to go, ask yourself why I wanted to go there, in the first place. That will answer and that will keep you motivated to go in that place. So that's my share, Yashaswini.
Thank you, madam. You emphasized on exploring what our strengths are and why we are aiming at certain thing and why we want to go to why and what are the two most basic, very important questions that we need to keep in mind when we, when we are on this journey. Thank you, madam, for that. So thank you all the panelists, although we run ahead of time, but thank you for staying with us. Thank you for this wonderful insights covering up a lot of things. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the panelists. And it was really very insightful. And I personally, I think I have a lot of introspection to do, especially on this coming back to career, joining back to workforce. So I'm closing this panel discussion now. And a big thank you for the audience today for their area, and also my co-moderator Gouri and Leah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank
you
you
so much.